Hey everyone, thank you for listening to the Pain and Panic Trip Planning Podcast. My name is Haley Ragsdale, and I'm here with my brother, Owen Rederer.
Hey guys.
We're a sibling duo who loves everything Disney, especially the theme parks. I'm a travel agent affiliated with Academy Travel and would love to help you plan your next Disney vacation. Reach out to me at Haley.Ragsdale at academytravel.com to start planning your next dream vacation at Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Universal, Adventures by Disney, Disney Cruise Line, and so much more. So, today, we're going to be talking about Disney Springs, but before we get into Disney Springs, we're going to start kind of highlighting some of the news within the Walt Disney World and Universal parks at the start of our episodes. That way we kind of keep everybody up to date on what's happening, big deals, promotions, things like that. So yeah, let's talk Disney first. So, big news from this week, the 2026 Disney World packages were released this week, so now is definitely the time to book, because a lot of those rooms, especially like suites and things like that, they're going to book up pretty quickly. So if you're traveling with a bigger party, you're going to be able to get the best bang for your buck booking now. So if you're interested in booking in 2026, let me know. I'll be happy to help. If you're like, oh, but what if a great deal comes up in the future? The good news is, as a travel agent, I have a direct line to like the Diamond Earmarked line, so I can retroactively apply those deals to your package. So if we book today and then they release a discount tomorrow or next month or whatever it might be that can be applied to your package, we can apply that once they release the discount. So no worries there. So definitely better to book ahead of time than to wait and then all of the rooms are booked up and you can't get into the room that you would like. Other big news, Disney Cruise Line. So they've released updates on the Disney Destiny that include a first look at dining and beverage experiences and a new Disney Hercules stage show. I've heard that this is supposed to be very similar to like the Broadway show that they're releasing in London, I believe. I believe they're releasing it on the West End first. So yeah, that looks super duper cool. That's super exciting. They're starting to release dates for like the first round of sailings on this new ship, so it's gonna be really exciting. Owen, have you seen any of that stuff about the Disney Destiny?
No, not at all. I have not seen it.
Well, it looks really cool. I want to see the Hercules show for sure. Also, this is releasing on Friday, which is 2 days before one of my favorite days, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. So Star Wars Revenge of the Sith is showing right now in theaters. And it's been really big. People have been super pumped about it. We were supposed to go yesterday, but we ended up not being able to go, which was really sad. But I'm hoping I'll still get to go. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Owen's a huge Star Wars fan. Just kidding.
I hate Star Wars. I don't actually hate Star Wars, but I just,
We were trying to think of like a Star Wars episode that we could do for today, but Owen doesn't like it, so it really wouldn't have been that great. But I could have talked about it all night, so maybe I should have just done an episode by myself. The only other things I want to point out too is a couple of things going on at Universal right now. So obviously the Epic Universe, we've seen a lot of footage from different content creators as well as media. So they just did all of their early media previews and things like that. Now they're doing their Epic Universe previews for select guests, and that includes annual pass holders, military freedom pass holders, Universal hotel guests, and eligible Universal Rewards Visa signature card members. And then the grand opening is May 22nd, so we're getting real close, which is really, really exciting. I really hope we get to get there over the summer, but we'll see what happens. Also, what's been really cool, and Owen, I feel like you'll have some stuff to say on this, Universal Fan Fest night at Universal Studios Hollywood in California looks phenomenal. I think this is the first time. I think this is the first time they're doing it. It runs from April 25th to May 18th. But it celebrates fandoms like Star Trek, Back to the Future, Dungeons and Dragons, One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and Super Nintendo World. So it looks absolutely insane. Like I saw footage of the One Piece characters like interacting with people, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be there so bad.
Yeah, no. And then they have like a whole stage show for the D&D fandom, and it has this huge beholder puppet, and it's like it's so well done and it looks so realistic. It's super cool.
Yes, and all the different colored Yoshis that you can meet looks insane.
It does.
I was watching a video and I saw somebody posting about it, and it was something like you had to like almost complete mini games or something in order to get in line to see like the blue and purple Yoshi or something. It looked really interesting.
Yeah, so essentially what that was around the area that or I guess the around the Super Nintendo area, it has like different hidden Yoshi eggs. And so they give you a crown. And every time you go and you find one of these eggs, they give you a sticker based on the egg that you found. And if you find all the eggs that there are to find, the last person will give you a golden coin sticker that you can put on your crown. And if you have all of the eggs and the coin, then you get into a special, I guess you could say VIP line to go meet either the blue or the pink Yoshi. And you know what? Those are my two favorite Yoshis. So sounds like we got to do
it. Sounds like we need to fly to California.
Yep.
Alrighty. I think that's it for news. Owen, anything you'd like to add?
I mean, I'll go ahead and throw in for Disney's aspect, for Disney's Animal Kingdom. I have just read, based on Haley's notes, that they have taken down, what is it, the last Dino USA billboard, and they are officially going to start building the Encanto ride. They're starting to put in big works towards it. So, goodbye, Dino.
Yeah.
We tried to save you. We didn't succeed. I'm sorry.
Yep. Adios, Dino. I think the dinosaur ride is still open, but yeah, that like big billboard in the back, it's been demolished.
Sounds like we got to make a trip to Disney real quick. Get in one last ride.
I was looking at Memorial Day weekend a few minutes ago.
I have plans.
Just saying.
Memorial Day weekend. Sorry, Haley.
Boo.
More important
I'll go by
things.
myself. It's okay. I was looking for myself anyways. I was going to go solo.
Evil.
I kid. I'm not going to Disney World. I just like to look at things. I like to plan imaginary trip, which is why you should let me plan your trip.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So today we're talking about Disney Springs. Hidden gem, in my opinion. I guess it's not really hidden, but like, I love Disney Springs. I know it's not a park, but in my head, it's like a fifth gate a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's one of those pieces of Disney that our family personally hits every time we go to Disney. Like we always go to Disney Springs. And honestly, it has so much to offer that it does honestly feel like its own park. I mean, we've always treated it as its own day. Like, you know, because we always try and hit a different park each day. Disney Springs is its own day. And that's usually one of my favorites. Because it's also one of the beginning days that we usually do. So,
yes. We usually, like, the day we get there, we'll usually drive. So we're in Tennessee. So it's probably like a 9-10 hour drive, depending on traffic. But we usually leave super early in the morning. I'm fantastic driving at 5 a.m. I'm like the queen of let's get on the road.
True news.
And I'm gonna drive us for 5 hours until y'all wake up and gotta pee. But usually if we leave early enough, then we have plenty of time to like check into the hotel, change, and then go to Disney Springs, which is always a great way to start your trip because it's low maintenance. Like it's not like you're rushing to the park. We usually have a dinner reservation somewhere. It's a little bit of Disney, like it's a taste of Disney, but you're not using one of your park tickets. That's a good time. It's a great way to kick off your trip, in my opinion.
Yeah, and also most of the resorts for Disney, they have buses that go to Disney Springs. So it's not like you're having to worry about driving there. You know, if you're staying at one of the resorts, it's an easy little bus ride over there, just like any of the other parks.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I think it's a great if you have like an off day, like especially if you're doing a Run Disney weekend. Typically, the day before like the longest race, I'll usually have an off day where I don't go to the parks, but I usually go to Disney Springs. Um, because you don't have to pay for a park ticket. Like, yes, you end up spending money on food and potentially shopping and things, but you're not paying $150 to go into the parks and then feeling like, oh, I need to maximize my time here in the parks because I just spent all this money to get in. Um, it's a great low key day, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
It's a
definitely.
good time. Um, so let's talk a little bit about the background of Disney Springs. So Disney Springs started as the Lake Buena Vista shopping village in 1975. And it aimed to be a charming lakeside marketplace for resort guests and locals. Over time, it evolved and was rebranded as Downtown Disney in the late 1990s, becoming a large entertainment district with distinct areas like the marketplace, Pleasure Island, nightclubs and dining, which I wish Pleasure Island was still a thing. I like remember Pleasure Island, but I couldn't like participate in Pleasure Island when it was a thing. But I really wish I could like go back in time for a night just to experience it. And then the West Side, which is where like Cirque du Soleil in the movie theater was. Um, in 2013, Disney announced a massive reimagining and expansion, leading to its current name, Disney Springs, which was completed in 2016. This transformation introduced the town center. And so that town center area is like you know where the buses drop you off and then you walk in and it's all of the like Under Armour, Lululemon, like it's all of those shops that are like shops you would see in a normal shopping mall. That's
Yeah.
that newer area. So before that, you had like the marketplace, which was like the little Disney shops and things, and then Pleasure Island was that the area with all of the like restaurants and things, where Boathouse is and all that. It was kind of that area, and it leaded
Oh,
over to the west side where Cirque du Soleil and stuff was. So then they added that entire town center area. Um, this project significantly increased the number of shops, restaurants, and entertainment venues, creating the vibrant and diverse destination it is today, seamlessly blending Disney magic with a broader appeal. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the history on Disney Springs. So now we're going to talk a little bit about like our favorite things, kind of like what we did in the other park episodes. But then we're also going to, I'll share my screen like we did for the Epic Universe episode. And we'll kind of look through the map and point out some of our favorite places to stop and the layout of Disney Springs and things like that. So, first of all, Owen, what's your favorite snack in Disney Springs?
okay. So this one was difficult because I feel like when you talk about the snacks in Disney Springs, it's a lot of like the typical Disney food. You know, like they have the pretzels and the churros and stuff like that, which are all great. Don't get me wrong. Like those are all solid things to have, when you need a quick bite. But I did pick a technical sit down, but it doesn't have to be sit down, and that's Earl of Sandwich. Specifically,
Solid.
the chicken Caesar wrap and that potato salad. That is one of the best potato salads I've ever had in my life. Especially after we had finished, because that was the day we did the half marathon. And after, like, that was like one of the first things. Well, no, because we had breakfast right after. But, anyways, that chicken Caesar wrap and that potato salad hit like nothing else. That was a great, like, snack segue into having to walk around and do all the shopping and stuff. So, yeah.
I feel like that was right around the time, when you like run a long distance and then you eat right after. And that's kind of like okay, I'm eating right now to refuel myself so I don't get sick. But then there's like a point a few hours later where you start getting hungry. And that was that time.
Yeah.
It
No,
was
that
like
was
the
like the
just
perfect
starting to get
segue.
hungry. Uh,
Yeah.
it was exactly what we needed. Um,
It was.
I feel like the snacks there are always changing. Um, like I would love to try Gideon's Bakehouse, but it's always such a long line that we haven't gotten in. I really want to try their cookies, but the line's always super long, and I feel like I've been waiting years now for the line to get shorter or it to be more accessible. But I feel like they have a lot of like changing snacks and things. I think that's where the pickle milkshake was. I think it was at Disney Springs.
I
I
would
would have
try
loved
that.
to try that, even though I don't know how I felt about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, like right, I would want to try it. Um, but I will say the one thing I always get, I don't know if this is really considered a snack, but I always get at Disney Springs is the orange rum runner from that margarita stand.
Yeah, that thing's
And
good.
it's the perfect way. It's the perfect way to start off my Disney vacation, and I have to get it every time. I do love like the pretzel dogs though, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That hits different standing in line waiting for a bus at Disney Springs. Like when you're leaving at the end of the night,
You always have one
those pretzel
pocketed.
dogs hit different. I do. I do. I usually have a couple in my backpack. Okay. What is your favorite sit down dining spot in Disney Springs? I feel like there's so many options here.
I was about to say, Disney Springs has a really good selection of sit down restaurants. I did almost put Raglan Road because that one was really solid and I loved the atmosphere, but nothing like was
I
able to
love
beat
Raglan Road.
Enzo's Hideaway. I mean, that place is just so elegant. The food is so delicious. The drinks were perfect. Like everything about that made me feel fancy and made me feel like I was higher class, you could say. It was so amazing.
That's so fair. I think Enzo's Hideaway will always have a special place in my heart because there was one time Jack and I were there on vacation and I don't know, we were just like moseying around, having a good time. And we saw a sign that was like underground bar and we were like, oh, I wonder what this is. And we just followed the signs and ended up in Enzo's Hideaway, which we had no idea existed. And it was definitely one of those like magical Disney moments where you're like, oh, this is fantastic. We found an underground restaurant. Um, so it'll always have a special place in my heart for that reason alone. Um, but I think my favorite, I love Boathouse. I've eaten at the wine, or well, I've had like appetizers at the wine bar before. It was pretty good. Um, T Rex and Rainforest are a good time if you have kids.
Yeah.
Lucas liked T Rex because there was a lot for him to look at, so it kept him occupied for the dinner. Not the best food, but it's a good option for kids. Also, because it's so loud in there, if you do have a kid that's like acting up, nobody knows. Um, but my favorite is paddlefish, which Jack and I had one time because we had a bunch of Disney gift cards. It's because it's pricier. We had a bunch of Disney gift cards, and so we splurged, went to paddlefish, and it was phenomenal. We got like, I feel like I remember us getting like a bucket of lobsters. Like,
Oh my
it was
god.
ridiculous. No, it was delicious. Like, if you want seafood and you want to splurge a little bit, paddlefish is the way to go.
See,
'Cause it was phenomenal.
I haven't even looked at their menu because I know I would get sad. Because one, I'd want to eat the food, but I know I can't afford that. No way. I just know
That's
it's
right.
pricey. It's called
I
paddle.
mean, we literally had, we literally had like 4 or 5 Disney gift cards that we had saved up from like holidays.
Yeah. Hey, that's
It
the
was
way to
really
do
good.
it.
It
That's
was
the
really
way to
good.
do it.
Um, Raglan, right? Raglan Road is fun though too, like you were saying, and the food is very niche. It's pretty heavy, so keep
Yeah.
that in mind. They don't really have like lighter meals, but if you kind of do your research ahead of time, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously the atmosphere is fantastic. Like there's literally people Irish dancing on tables and all sorts of things. Um, but yeah. Owen, what is your favorite bathroom in Disney Springs?
Personally, for me, my favorite is the one that's right next to Market Co-op, just because it's pretty center to like the whole Disney shopping area, and it's just easy access. It's right there. It's right next to like the Lego store and stuff, or like it's in pretty close proximity to the Lego store, and I feel like that's pretty center to the area that I am usually spending most of my Disney Springs time at. You know what I mean? So I'd have to go with the bathroom next to
That's fair.
Market Co-op.
I Are we thinking of the same one? I was gonna say the one by the poutine stand.
No, not that one. I do know which one you're talking about, and that one is good. But
Yeah.
there's one like right next
There
to Market
also
Co-op.
is there's also one behind the Godiva shop that I
Yeah.
feel like is pretty like hidden so people don't really know about. But I feel like I also always forget about that one, so I don't know that I can say it's my favorite.
For any of you listeners, my
All
Wi-Fi
right.
is acting up today, so a lot of my responses are delayed. I promise I'm not purposefully trying to cut off Haley. It just I say something and then 5 seconds later it says it. So
It's fine. Um, all right, what's your favorite relaxation spot in Disney Springs?
so I kind of have two for this one because obviously I feel like a lot of people really think about when you hear relaxed spot, you think about somewhere where you can sit down and just chill out for a second. So in terms of like sitting down, I think my favorite spot is the waterside amphitheater that they have. That's like right in front of the World of Disney shop. Just because one, they always have someone performing there, so it's not like it's just boring. But you can sit down in the bleachers, enjoy the show, and just chill out for a second. But me personally, I think my favorite would have to be the Market Co-op shop because they always keep that shop so freezing cold, and I love it. I love the feeling of going in that shop and feeling that cold, brisk air. It's beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I was gonna say, I think my favorite spot, you know where all the food trucks usually are? If there's not a lot of birds there,
Yeah.
I love sitting there by like the water and stuff. If there's a lot of birds, meh, it's a little terrifying, but as long as there's not a ton of birds, good place to sit. Or on the patio by the margarita stand. Also a great place to sit. Then you're
That's
by the
not a bad
margarita
option.
stand too.
Yeah.
I know, right? All right. What is your favorite memory from Disney Springs?
Okay. So first, I'd like to start with a core memory because for me, I have a hard time remembering to call it Disney Springs. I bet a lot of you have probably noticed me stumbling or pausing right before I say the name because I know it as Downtown Disney. Like that's when I was first introduced to it. So in my head, it's still Downtown Disney. Um, but I remember one of like the first memories of Disney was going to Downtown Disney on the first night and going to the Goofy Candy Company and getting candy there. And as a child, that's like your dream, right? Like that's like the best moment of your life because you just got to Disney, you get candy, and boom, you're ready to go. You're fired up. Uh, but I think my absolute favorite memory from Disney Springs is seeing your husband Jack go into the Lego store after saving up for super long and buying over $1,000 worth of Legos. And so he walks out with these two huge, bulky boxes of Legos. And he's like, he literally looks like a traveler back in like some olden days with these huge sacks of like, I mean, these were huge boxes. Like, I can't even like describe what is the one that he got? Like Rivendell? Is that what he got? I can't remember what he got.
Yeah, yeah, one of them was Rivendell, and I can't remember what the other one was.
Yeah, but he blew all this money for these Legos. And hey, no judgment. I get it. I blow some heavy money on some niche hobbies, but that was crazy. And just seeing him lug them onto the bus and stuff, it was awesome. It was funny.
So, for the record, my husband has a Disney Visa, like credit card. So, every single time he saves up all of his points so he can spend them at the Lego store in Disney Springs. So, he didn't even spend money on those. That was all credit card points.
Which is
Like,
impressive. That is very impressive.
so it's a regular thing. I remember the first time we went down there, it was me, Jack, and Jackson went, and it was like right after their senior year of college, and that was when he figured out what his Disney Visa points like got him. And so I remember sitting on the bed. It was like me and Jackson on one bed, Jack's sitting on the other bed, and he's on the phone with Visa Disney card holders or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, I've had this credit card since, I was 16, and I don't know, like, I've never used the points. I don't know what the points are, this, that, and the other." And they're like, "Oh, okay, well, we had picked up a card at Disney Springs earlier that day, like a rewards card. And they're like, "Okay, read us the card number and we'll put your points on there, this, that, and the other." And then they're like, "Okay, we're putting all your points. This is how many you have." And Jack goes, "Oh, oh." And Jackson and I are like, "What? How much money do you think he has?" Like, and then so he gets off the phone and he goes, "I have $1,600 of rewards points."
That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. Oh my.
So, I mean, we were going ham. That was like the first night of our trip. So then we were like, "Let's eat here. Let's do this. Let's do this." And that was the year Jack got the Millennium Falcon Lego. So I have a picture of him carrying this Lego that's like bigger than me, and he's just carrying, like, hugging it, carrying it, and he like waddles onto the bus with this giant Lego.
Good Lord.
It's yeah, it's a regular thing. It happens every time.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And I think that was like the
But it's
most
okay.
like surreal experience because Jack is a big dude. Like he's I don't even know 6'5", 6'7", and he's just lugging these huge boxes around. I'm like, how do you even do that? I don't even think I can lift it off the ground at that point.
Nope, I couldn't. I definitely couldn't. Um, I was gonna say, I think my favorite memory was when Jack and I stumbled on Enzo's Hideaway, or one of our first-ish trips, and Jack got me, like, kind of surprised me with the Pandora bracelet for the first time. Um, and then ever since then, every time we go, he'll get me a new charm, which is pretty fun.
That is fun.
Um, okay. Now we're going to kind of explore the Disney Springs website together. This way we can kind of look through some of the different shops and things and talk through them together. Some of the things that we probably forgot because there's so many things to do in Disney Springs. And according to their website, there are 94 shops, 70 dining experiences, and 26 play attractions, shows, and events.
Whew. Just thinking about it
Um,
got me out of breath.
yeah, right? So many things. Okay, so let's look at experiences first. Okay, so that's the stage you were talking about earlier, the Advent Health Waterside stage. That's that little
Yeah.
pavilion. So there's a lot of different live music, things like that there. There's the Aerophile, is that how you say that? The
Yeah.
world leader in balloon flight. So if you've
What
been
the?
to Disney Springs, you've seen the hot air balloon, and yes, you can actually buy a ticket and ride in the hot air balloon. I've never done it. I'm terrified of heights, so I don't know that I ever will, but it's something you can do. The AMC there, the Disney Springs, the movie theater, is a dine-in theater. I've been there once, I think. Coca-Cola Polar Bear Photo Op Experience. There's the Disney Photo Pass Studio, which is always a lot of fun. So if you have Disney Photo Pass, I definitely suggest stopping at any of the Disney Photo Pass studios. This one is right next to the co-op. And it's a lot of fun. They do a bunch of little backdrops and stuff. Good way to kick off your vacation. Um, there's an art walk right now. Disney Springs Kids Club. Drawn to Life. This is the Cirque du Soleil show that they have going right now. I've heard great things about it. I've never done it, but I've heard great things. The Edison has live entertainment as well. I ate at the Edison once. It was okay. It was kind of toward the beginning, like when it first opened. So I've heard it's gotten a lot better. I wasn't super impressed the first time I did it, but is what it is. Okay, level 99. I want to talk about this because this is coming soon. I think it's going to be like a big, like, there's going to be breakout games, there's going to be VR, like, there's going to be a lot of different things. I
Oh, that'll
definitely
be
want to do
cool.
it. I definitely want to go. Let's see what it says when it's opening. So here's the description. Gather your group for a day of fun at a place designed to test your skills. Work together to conquer the challenge rooms, earn rewards, and climb the coveted leaderboard. From solving mysteries in an ancient temple to walking a pirate's plank to beating a giant pinball game, there's something to discover behind every door. Your team will only have 1 to 4 minutes to beat each challenge. Oh my gosh. So
That's
be
crazy.
prepared to act quick. If a little friendly competition, I know, but I want to do it so bad. If a little friendly competition is more your style, face off against each other in a variety of player versus player games for glory and bragging rights. You don't want to miss out on seeing who in your group has the fastest time on the iconic axe run. Oh, I definitely want to do that. Once you've worked up an appetite, unwind at the 2-story bar featuring handcrafted cocktails, local beers, and made-from-scratch bites, including Level 99's signature Detroit-style pizza. Like, I just want to spend the day here.
Yeah, that does sound pretty cool.
That
I'm
looks
not gonna
insane.
lie.
Sounds like we'd spend a lot of money, but it sounds like a great time.
Yeah, probably.
Uh, let's see what else they have here. So there's the Raglan Road Entertainment, like we talked about. Splitsville's fun. I've never bowled there, but I've eaten there. Food's decent enough. It's like typical. I think I had a club there. It was pretty good. So it's gonna be like sandwiches, bar food, things like that. Um, I've also always wanted to do the amphicar. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
But it's like the cars, the boat cars that go in the lake or whatever. Even though I feel like you would get eaten by an alligator, I still really want to do it because it looks fun. Let's see. All right, let's look at the Disney Springs map. I want the actual map. What are you doing? There we go. Okay, I had the like actual map up earlier. Ah, there it is. Okay.
There it is.
So, where does it have us? It has us. So,
Okay. This
I
is
believe
classic.
this is where you enter if you get dropped off by the buses. Yeah.
No.
Oh, wait, that's Bippity Boppity Boutique. So,
Yeah.
you get dropped off
Keep going.
like
Oh,
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's Under Armour, isn't it? Isn't that where
Oh,
you
no,
get?
no, no,
Oh,
no,
wait,
no.
no,
You
here.
get
Here's where you
right
get
there.
dropped off.
Yeah. I was
Right
pointing
here's
to
where
it
you get
like you
dropped
could
off.
see where I was
So you
pointing.
get dropped off. I could see you pointing. So this is that whole newer section like we were talking about earlier. So you've got things like Zara, you've got Sephora, Sperry, Vera Bradley, all these different things. So what this also did when they added this expansion is it added, like, I think they did this really well. They did this really smart. Is they basically added on all these little brown buildings right here. And so that also gave you, instead of like normally the buses would drop you off over here and you'd have to walk all the way over here to get to the west side if you wanted to get to that side. But when they added this, they made it almost more like central, right? So kind
Yeah.
of like how all the parks are made, where it's like you're like you've got like in Magic Kingdom, for example, you've got the castle and then you've got spires that go off the castle that send you to the different lands. So that's kind of what they did here when they built this town center. So I really like it because it gives you a lot of new pathways to the other areas.
Yeah. And
Um
one of my favorite shops is in that new shopping area, and it's Stance. That place has some of the best socks you could ever buy. Absolutely wonderful.
oh, that's so true. Where is it?
Wait, it's along that same.
Stance, yeah,
There
right
it
here.
is.
And yeah, they're awesome. They have like compression socks and things like that, but they're like Disney themed, so they look cool too. Um, we haven't talked about World of Disney at all.
I give it a little bit of a mention, but not a big one. We need to hunker down, bunker down. Let's talk. about World of Disney?
I don't know. Um, it's awesome. Let's start there. So, World of Disney, this is like your giant Disney store. And it's got, I don't know, it's got like everything. All of the like basic souvenirs that you're probably going to find in the parks. You will still find those like niche souvenirs in the parks, but it's a great way to start. Like when you start your trip at Disney Springs, you go in that first night and you go into World of Disney. It's a great way to kind of kick off the Disney World trip because then you kind of see, oh, look at all of these cool souvenirs and things that they do have in the parks. And oh, I really like that. I bet I'll be able to find it in the parks or whatever it might be. Or oh, I love this shirt. I'm going to buy it so I can wear it tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's a giant Disney store and it makes my child heart happy. Right outside of the Disney store is going to be that stage that we were talking about earlier with a Wetzel's Pretzels right next to it.
Yep.
And then you get into that older area where you're gonna find like Goofy's Candy Company and things like that. So that was originally basically that rideshare drop off is where the buses used to drop you off.
Yeah.
When it was still downtown Disney. So you've got Rainforest Cafe, Earl of Sandwich, Once Upon a Toy, which I don't think is that great, but people say different things. You've got that Star Wars trading post. This honestly isn't my favorite area.
It has the Disney's pin traders. What do you mean it's not your
Like-
favorite? It's my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
It has
know.
the most nostalgic.
It's not my
feel to
favorite
me.
area aside from. That's fair. That is fair. And it does have the margaritas right here, Marketplace Snacks. And Marketplace Co-op is cool. I just feel like we always spend a lot of time over here and then we run out of time and don't get to that other side, which is where I feel like there's some really good gems that we've never really explored.
That's fair. That is fair.
The PhotoPass Studios right there, it's a lot of fun. I really like that little PhotoPass studio. I think it's a good hidden gem. So then if you want to get to the other side of the park, there's two different ways that you can go. So you can go through that newer section, which is probably how you got over to that section, or you can come up and kind of go over the water and go past like paddlefish, which is my preferred way of going because I like seeing paddlefish and seeing Boathouse and things like that. I also want to try Terralina Crafted Italian. I've heard great things about that. Apparently there's a bakery here.
There's also the
I think that's
Joffreys
new.
right there.
Chapel Hats. That's where I got your cat dad hat. Oh, that's true. There is the Joffreys right there. So this gets you by. So there's that gelato place, which is really good as well. I've heard good things about Jocelyn Lindsay's Hangar Bar. I've never been there. Wine Bar Georgia. I've gotten like apps and stuff there. It's pretty good. Raglan Road's always a good time. There's also like a little bar area outside. There's that Cooks of Dublin, which I think you can get. Why are you doing this to me, map? I think you can get like Raglan Road food there, but I could be wrong. Gideon's Bakehouse is going to be on this strip. Let's see. Paradiso 37. We ate there one time. It was meh. It was not very good.
Pretty average.
It was subpar. The Edison, I've heard, or I wasn't a huge fan, but like I said, I went very early in there, like very early when it opened. So, I've heard STK is fantastic. That's another one I want to try. Maria and Enzo's is basically on top of Enzo's Hideaway. So you're gonna get similar food there. It's just a different atmosphere. There's the entrance to Enzo's Hideaway. Okay, so this is the section I feel like we never really get into that much. And this is where you've got like the Splitsville and the theater. I guess there's really not that much. I would like to try this Everglazed Donuts and Cold Brew place though.
That does sound good.
I've heard Haleo's fantastic. Um, I don't know. There's like that Star Wars house and stuff over here, or that Star Wars shop and stuff over here. You've got House of Blues. We never get to House of Blues. Like we never get this far down.
Oh yeah, no, I barely know that that area
I,
exists. But one great shop is Bo's Signature Candles. That place is actually a lot cooler than you'd think. Yeah, because they they obviously have a lot of typical scents, right? You know, I'm a big candle guy. I'm a big scent guy. I like colognes, candles, all that kind of stuff. But this place, not only do they have a lot of the classic candle smells like, you know, normal eucalyptus or, you know, beach scents, but they also have scents that specifically replicate what certain parts of Disney World smell like. Like there's literally a candle
oh,
called the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and it smells like the ride. Like when
oh
you're
God.
going through the now, whether you think that's a pleasant smell or not is up to you. Um, but they have like all kinds of candles like that. So that's a good little place to stop. I didn't buy anything when I was there, but they do have good candles. Definitely worth stopping in and just smelling and experiencing it. But
See, I didn't even know that existed.
yeah,
That's wild. I've heard that brunch at Summer House on the Lake is also delicious.
mm.
Just something I want to try.
They also
Um, but yeah, that kind of gets you through. Well, we didn't get into the Coca-Cola area either.
the Coca Cola area is cool.
Yeah, with Planet Hollywood, I've heard Chicken Guy's fantastic. Mom loves Wolfgang Puck. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of like, I mean, there's a lot, as you can see. There's a lot of restaurants, there's a lot of shops and things. So up to you. If you want to do like research ahead of time, do some research ahead of time. Pick a couple things that you know you absolutely want to do. Or just go in and wing it. You'll probably have a good time either way. I will say these restaurants, like, yes, some of them fill up really quick. Like Boathouse is going to fill up really quick. But pro tip, if you're trying to get a dining reservation, a lot of times people will cancel their dining reservations like the day before, the day of, a couple days before. So even when you're at Disney on your trip, actively be checking dining reservations if you're trying to get something specific, because that's probably when people are going to be canceling their reservations. Um, so I've never had a problem with like checking the app the day of and being like, oh, we're going to go to Disney Springs for dinner. Let me see if I can find a reservation for 2 or 3 or 6 or whatever, how many ever people we have. And usually we've been able to find a reservation somewhere. Um, it is going to be harder if you try to just walk up to a restaurant. But I mean, there was one time Jack and I walked right up to Enzo's Hideaway, walked right in, sat down, had a couple drinks, had a couple appetizers, had a grand old time. So same with I've done that at the wine bar before too. Um, so yeah, you're definitely gonna have a little more flexibility and ability to kind of mosey your way through Disney Springs versus the parks where you kind of have to plan step by step. So yeah. Oh, and anything you want to add?
Um, I
I
don't
feel
think
like you
so.
froze
I mean,
again.
I love Disney Springs slash downtown Disney. It's always a great start to our vacations. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Preach. All right. Well, I think that's it for this week. Thank you all for joining us. We hope you're one step closer to planning your magical Disney vacation. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. If you need help planning your next Disney vacation, I'd love to help you. So contact me at Haley_Ragsdale at academytravel.com. Follow me on Instagram at Haley Ragsdale Travel and Owen at Owen_Rederer. Until next time, bye bye.
See ya.